I'll try and lean forward here. The mask, we can hear me. Welcome to this McLean County Board regular meeting. It's Thursday, October 14th, 2021. At this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the invocation or a moment of silence by Member Val Lehman.
This week, as we recognize Indigenous Peoples Day, it's important to take a moment to acknowledge that the land we call McLean County is the ancestral land of many Native groups, beginning with the Paleo-Indians 12,000 years ago, and most recently, Algonquin-speaking groups, including the Kickapoo, who were forced west from this area in the 1830s. That information was taken from the McLean County History Museum. So as we prepare to meet, let's ready our minds with a few deep breaths. In and out. And please take a moment of silent reflection. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Member Lehman. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the county clerk please call the roll?
George Wendt. Absent. Lori Wilbraham. Josh Barnett.
Present.
Hannah Beer.
Present.
Lindsay Bloomfield. Sharon Chung.
Present.
Leah Klein.
Present.
Chuck Erickson.
Present.
William John Friedrich.
Present.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Present.
Val Lehman.
Present.
Randall Martin. Catherine Metzger.
Present.
Jim Rogal.
Present.
Susan Schaefer.
Here.
James Solner.
Here.
Gerald Thompson.
Here.
Shana Wachinski.
Here.
Benjamin Webb.
Present.
John McIntyre.
Here, we have 19 members present and one absent, and we do have a quorum. Going to item 5 on our agenda, appearance by members of the public and county employees in reference to an agenda item. We do have a member from the public that has applied to speak, and so with Mr. Zach Gittrich, will you please come up to the podium?
And just before I begin, I do know there was some confusion about other people speaking. I do know that a couple other people do have verification emails, so I'll let them handle that. I just wanted to talk again about the jail today. So the stats for the McLean County Jail, which are accurate as of August 30th, is the jail population is 213. Of that 213, 24 are female, 189 are male. By race, 49.3% are Black, even though African Americans only make up 8.26% of the county. 2.3% are Hispanic, and 48.4% are persons of a colonial complexion. Number of people over 50 is 23, as like I said, August 30th. And it's important to note this because costs roughly double for care of inmates over 50. The number of inmates sentenced is 22. And just to be clear, it is my understanding that IDOC actually does reimburse the county for convicted inmates that it's holding. It might not be 1-1, but the county is reimbursed. The number of inmates pre-trial for drug offenses are 46, and like by the almighty holy Buddha, why are we wasting money on drug offenses? Isn't this the land of freedom? You know, we don't need big government coming in and telling us to do with our bodies, right? Cities 92:9. So really, I'm here to talk about the update to the ICS contract. As you all know, the money from this contract goes into the general fund, where ostensibly it goes towards the upkeep of the jail. By statute, commissary money goes allegedly towards the inmates' benefits. Now, the sheriff claims the tablet money would go towards the commissary, not the general. Turns out that was fake news, as only the purchases of the commissary through the tablets go towards the commissary. So the whole 25% of the commission in this updated contract goes into the general fund. Now let's say you have no commissary funds. Every week or two you get what's called an indigent bag. One small bar of soap, travel-sized deodorant, travel toothpaste, small toothbrush, and a small comb. Everyone gets one plastic pillow and a very thin blanket, sometimes two in the winter, so that's nice, but they gotta give it back in spring. If you have any funds left on your account, even just like $2 in your commissary account, you don't get any indigent bag. Nothing. And if you're a woman and start your period at the wrong time by Zeus, you may be stuck there for days bleeding through your clothes. Now I can already hear Randall right here saying, increasingly consternated, he didn't put these people here. I didn't put these people here. They put themselves there. He's right. But the point of this system is to reform people. It costs a heck of a lot less to reform someone than endlessly keep people in a cycle of in and out of incarceration. Illinois has a 2/3 recidivism rate, and that problem starts at the jail, the literal entry point to mass incarceration. And when you treat people like animals and don't treat them with dignity, it makes it impossible to reform them. So with this new contract, I do hope that you guys rethink where this money is going, because the bare minimum, which is currently what we have, is not leading to what we want. Thank you. I cede my time.
Thank you, Mr. Gittridge. We did have 3 members of the public that also sent emails to all the county board members. They did not apply to speak. I'm assuming you all saw those. So they will not be on record, but you did all receive them. So just wanted to point that out to you this time. Our office did contact them and see if they wanted to request to speak, but we never heard back from them. So that's what we have at this time. So I'm going to move on now to our consent agenda. You have it before you. What say you? Member Chung.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I would like to pull item 6E5B from the agenda, please, to be put into the Justice Committee report.
6,
E5B.
5B,
Yes,
and that goes to the Justice Committee.
yes, thank you.
To Chairman Erickson. Thank you. Is there anything else? If none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda before you? The motion by Member Klein. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnson. Any comments or questions or discussions, additions or corrections? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? And the motion has carried. Next, we have item G, which is part of our consent agenda, but we easily handle this on a separate basis when we have someone. So we have approval of resolutions or congratulations and commendations, and so I'm going to ask Mr. Member Jim Rogal to come up to the podium at this time to present the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution of McLean County Board in recognition of the establishment of the NAACP Bloomington Normal Youth Council. Whereas the NAACP Bloomington Normal Branch chartered a youth council on August 7th, 2021, and whereas the youth council is the first youth council in the Bloomington Normal branch's 103-year history, and whereas the youth council consists of 38 members under the age of 18 who have pledged to fight racial justice and social justices, and whereas the Youth Council's mission is to engage with the community, discussing systemic injustices and ways to uproot them, and whereas the Youth Council will help foster a new generation of leaders and build relationships in the community as they conduct meetings, organize and carry out food and clothing drives, and other community service projects. Therefore, be it resolved that the McLean County Board commend the NAACP Bloomington Normal Branch on the establishment of a Youth Council and wishes the current and future members of the council success in all their endeavors, adopted by the McLean County Board this 14th day of October 2021. I want to ask President Linda Foster and President Bradley Ross Jackson to come up and say a couple words.
In my mind's eye, I can hear the influential Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. saying, "An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Greetings and salutations. On behalf of Bloomington Normal's NAACP Youth Council, I, President Bradley Ross Jackson, proudly accepts this prestigious award from the McLean County Board of Commissioners. We invite you to join forces with us. We invite you all to fight against racism and discrimination. We invite you to help make the United States more united. Again, thank you for this prestigious award. Good evening and best regards to everyone. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. We are pleased to be here because we really want you to see the young people here that are not at home doing homework, which they should be. And they're not on a football field practicing, which they could be. They are here among you to show you that they are committed to this endeavor. Now, it was reported there were 38 members. You see 3 here. And today, that number has increased. We are so proud of these young people. We want you to be proud of them as well for what it is they are trying to do. They're trying to bring awareness to the injustices that are happening. And they are working on improving our community. So the reason why I am standing here before you as president of the Bloomington Normal branch, because I support these young people. We need each and every one of you to do the same. We know that in our community that there are issues. The young man just spoke of some earlier. But we know that we are a better community than this. And that we can be better toward any persons that are discriminated against. As the NAACP, we will continue to fight the good fight. But we know that if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. And so that's why these young people are standing here before you, because they want to know. They want you to know that they can make a difference within our community. And I'm looking forward to the continuing interaction and the engagement of making our community a community that we can be proud of. So thank you for what you're doing. But more importantly, let's listen. Let's listen. Let's listen to what these young people are saying so that we can prosper. And so these young people can feel proud about this community. And that they'll be willing to share with others the good things that are happening here in McLean County. So thank you.
Okay, we'll move along with our meeting. We'll go to item number 7, report of the standing committees. First of all, report of the executive committee, Vice Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Executive Committee has no items for action this evening. Our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes, and I would be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. We're going to item B, Finance Committee report. Chairman Metzger.
Thank you, Chairman McIntyre. 7B1A, request approval of an ordinance amending designation and operation criteria in the Bloomington Normal Enterprise Zone, and I move that.
A motion by Chairman Metzger, second by Member Johnston. Is there any comments or questions or discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose, the same sign. The motion is passed. Item B, 1B, on the Finance Committee agenda, I have consulted with Chairman Metzger. I've been in consultation with the administration, and due to the number of questions that have come forth from board members on this matter, we feel that it would be beneficial to table at this time to allow for additional deliberation, and I'll make a motion at this time to table item 7B1B. Do I have a second? Second by Member Metzger. Comments, questions, or discussion? Can't be any discussion, I'm sorry, on a motion to table. I'm staying corrected. Thank you. All in favor to table, please say aye. Opposed? Motion has carried. You have anything else for us at this
We
time,
do
Member Metzger?
not, but our general report is found in the unapproved meeting minutes, and that's found on page 23 through 30 of the meeting minutes packet, unapproved meeting minutes packet. I will answer any questions if anyone has any.
Thank you, Chairman Metzger. We'll go on to the report of the Health Committee. Chairman Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Health Committee has no items for action today, and our general report can be found in the unapproved minutes packet.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of the Justice Committee. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item on the agenda is item 7D1A, request approval of an amendment to the grant agreement between the Illinois Association of Court-Appointed Special Advocates and CASA of McLean County, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Martin. Comments or questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is passed.
Next item on the agenda is item 7D1B, request approval of a grant agreement between the Children's Advocacy Center of Illinois and the Children's Advocacy Center of McLean County, and I so move.
Motion by Chairman Erickson, second by Member Chung. Comments or questions? Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last item on the agenda has been moved from the consent agenda, and that was item 6E5B, request approval of a change order modification of contract with IC Solutions, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Erickson. Is there a second? Second by Member Schaefer. Comments, questions, or discussion? Member Chung.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to pull this closer. I had my doubts about this contract last week in Justice Committee, and I voiced some of my concerns then. And while I voted for last week, I did not want to take the tablets away from the inmates many of them have been using it for about a month now. And I've posed many questions over the past week, and many of them have been answered. But the original contract with IC Solutions that we're doing this change order modification to, it was approved back in July 2018, and it was the subject of much controversy, most of which came out last year when it was publicized widely that the county was making 72% commission off of phone calls made by inmates at the jail, and especially during a pandemic. And I told the sheriff last week that criminal justice and prison reform has been the subject of many discussions nationwide lately. And the racist policies that further marginalize already marginalized people such as cash bail are being eliminated in our state. I do not support further marginalizing people through charging them for basic communication with their loved ones, nor do I believe that we should profit off of it. The sheriff has told me that this has saved taxpayers quite a bit of money, since this money is used to go back into jail operations. But truthfully, I think that if you're relying on profiting off of those that are incarcerated to meet your bottom line, then perhaps there is something wrong with the system as a whole. Now, most of the Democrats with whom I serve on this very board were not serving in 2018 when this 5-year contract was approved. And I can tell you now that if this contract came before us now, we would not have voted on it. But the contract is still in place for 2 more years, and this modification to the contract is adding tablets as a form of communication and education and entertainment. What I want to do today is try to make the best of what is not a great situation as in this contract with this company. In the 2022 budget that we reviewed last week in Justice, there is an anticipated $200,000 in the revenue from telephone communications. And Ms. Taylor told me that this figure does not include this 25% commission that is in this contract today. So I would like to see if we can somehow amend this contract or table it, or then take out the 25% commission and then therefore lower the rates that are being charged the inmates. I'm not quite sure how to proceed, but I guess this is what I'm kind of proposing today.
Okay, thank you. Other speakers? Member Rogal.
Yes, thank you. So in my former life, I was the legislative liaison and policy advisor for Department of Corrections. One of the many things that we dealt with on a almost daily basis was the excessive cost of phone calls and communication between inmates and families. While we view it, it seems to be, the sheriff views it in the contract as a way for him to bring in revenue. Basically, what we're doing is taxing the families. Most of the people, at least in the county jail, aren't working and bringing in a revenue, so these family members are sending money to them, paying a fee on that. Then for the calls or for the emails, both the inmates and the families are paying on both sides of that. I know and have talked to the Department of Corrections, they're negotiating their contract right now for these same tablets. Now, I don't think it's the same company. They are doing it, setting it up so that they will make zero profit. So there'll be a zero-sum game. They'll be able to provide tablets to, in time, every inmate at the Department of Corrections throughout the state, 20,000 or so tablets. While I know we can't change the phone portion of this contract, I agree with Member Chung that we probably shouldn't be taking the 25% kickback for the tablets. I don't think, I like the idea of the tablet. It allows a lot of information that they currently don't get. For instance, if you go into the Department of Corrections, when you start at the Department of Corrections, you could go through reception and classification. You're at the Department of Corrections for 6 months before you're sent to your home institution. Once you get to that home institution, you're at least 6 months before you're put in a classification and are able to apply for educational credit or to take classes or even to get jobs. So you're looking at being in the facilities for a year before you can get access to education. The tablets allow them to get that immediately as they get the tablet. That's a huge step forward for our criminal justice system, both here at the county and at the state. So while I'm all for that, I just don't think we should be profiting off of that.
Okay, thank you. Other comments or discussion? Member Wachinski.
I just want to basically kind of vocalize agreement with Member Rogal and Member Chung. We all remember very clearly when this came up recently and the controversy surrounding it, and there was a majority of not just Democrats but Republicans that also voiced displeasure and kind of disgust for the profit that we were making on this. So I think going forward, we should not be getting any profit off of this. Thank you. I do want to make clear that we do not want to take the tablets away from the inmates, but we do not need to be profiting off of that.
Okay, thank you. Member Woolrab.
So I would pose a question as to whether it's possible to not take this profit yet still, and at the same time lower the fee for the inmates to use the tablet, since we wouldn't be, the entire financial situation would be, it would cost less if we're not making that 25% on it.
I've been informed that that is possible, but we'd have to renegotiate the contract. So that would take some time to do. I suppose the course of action then would be to table this to a date certain. I don't know if that's possible with the contract. So that's the best we can do for an answer. Member Warab for this at this time. Okay. Member Johnston?
If that's the case and there's no further discussion, I'd like to move to table this for renegotiation.
Are you making a motion
A
to table?
motion to table this.
Okay, I need to clarify with you, is this a motion to table to a date certain?
Given that we're not sure how long it will take to renegotiate, I'd like to table it to an uncertain date.
Okay, so this matter is going to be tabled until it is brought off the table at a later period. Is there a second to the amendment, or to the motion to table? A second by Member Klein. Other comments or questions? Cannot discuss motion to table? No. So at this time, we'll have to take a vote on the motion to table this.
Roll call.
And then I've had a roll call vote being requested. Chairman will not vote in case there's a tie. Will not. Okay.
George Wendt, absent. Lori Walrab,
This is on a motion to table, is that correct? Yes.
motion to table.
I vote yes.
Yes.
A yes vote is a motion to table until it's brought off the table at a later date. Thank you.
Josh Barnett,
Yes.
Hannah Beer,
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
Yes.
Leah Klein,
Yes.
Chuck Erickson,
No.
William John Friedrich,
No.
Elizabeth Johnston,
Yes.
Val Lehman,
Yes.
Randall Martin,
Yes.
Catherine Metzger, Jim Rogal,
Yes.
Susan Schaefer, James Solner,
No.
Gerald Thompson,
No.
Shana Wachinsky,
Yes.
Benjamin Webb,
Yes.
6 no. 12 yes.
6 yes votes, 6 no votes, 12 yes votes, and so the motion to table has passed. Okay. Member Erickson, back to you. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Justice Committee has no other items for action, and our general report can be found on pages 15 through 22 of the unapproved minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll go on to the report of the Land Use and Development Committee, Vice Chair Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Land Use and Development has no items for action this evening. General report can be found in the unapproved minutes. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. We'll go on to item F on our agenda, Property Committee Report, Chairman Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property Committee brings forward one item for action this evening, 7F1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2021 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the Facilities Maintenance Department 0041, and I so move.
A motion by Chairman Barnett. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Member Thompson. Are comments or questions? Discussion? If none, this requires a 2/3 vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Are there any dissenting votes that I didn't hear that we'd like to have requested or registered for the record? If not, then we'll assume that the motion passed unanimously, and we'll move on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Property has no other items for action this evening. A copy of our general report may be found in the unapproved minutes packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. We'll go on to the report of Transportation Committee. Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Transportation has 2 items this evening. First one is G1A, amendment to the Chapter 300 Roads and Highways in the McLean County Code. This comes without the support of the Transportation Committee or the Executive Committee. I so move.
Motion by Chairman Solner. Is there a second to the motion? Second by Member Bloomfield. Comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor,
Roll
please.
call.
I'm sorry, roll call vote is requested. Clerk, please call the roll.
A clarification on voting yes is,
Yes is to approve the amendment. I'm sorry, approve amendment to chapter 300 in highways and roads. Of the resolution as amended, okay? You understand, okay? Okay, go ahead, we'll call the roll.
Lori Walrab,
No.
Josh Barnett,
No.
Hannah Beer,
No.
Lindsay Bloomfield, Sharon Chung,
No.
Leah Klein,
No.
Chuck Erickson,
Yes.
William John Friedrich,
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston,
No.
Val Lehman,
No.
Randall Martin,
No.
Catherine Metzger, Jim Rogal,
No.
Susan Schaefer,
no.
James Zollner,
No.
Gerald Thompson,
No.
Shana Wachinsky,
No.
Benjamin Webb,
No.
John McIntyre.
Yes. What do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4 yes.
We have 15 no votes and 4 yes votes, and so the motion fails. And we'll go back to the Transportation Committee floor. Chairman Solner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next item is G1B, request approval of an intergovernmental agreement with the Board of Education of Ridgeview Community Unit District number 19, and I so move.
Motion by Vice Chairman Solner, second by Member Thompson. Comments or questions? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion has carried.
The general report can be found in the unimproved minutes. I'd be glad to answer any other questions.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to item H on our agenda, interim report of County Administrator, Ms. Cassie Taylor.
Thank you, Chairman. I have no action items to present this evening and no items in H1 or H2A for information. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8 on our agenda, appearances by members of the public and county employees in reference to an item not on the agenda. We have none at this time. So going to item 9, other business and communication, approval of a resolution by the McLean County Board regarding process for the approval of the 2021 reapportionment plan. This is a motion at my request of staff to draft it and be reviewed by our Assistant State's Attorney and our staff as well, and Ms. Taylor, who is a facilitator for the meetings that are being conducted. And I would also like to notice in our presence, our Judge Beth Robb, Judge John Freeze, and Judge Kevin Fitzgerald. Thank you for coming and joining us. They requested that they not answer any questions until their map drawing process is completed. And so I will move that we accept this resolution as written. Is there a second? Second by Member Johnston. Any comments, questions, discussion? Member Johnston.
I just wanted to say thank you for bringing this resolution forward. I think that it really speaks to our process here. I'm very proud of what we're doing and getting this out of elected officials' hands and into the citizens. I want to thank the committees for their time and effort, their commitment to do the work, and that this ordinance will protect their work products and make sure that we honor their process. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And I also want to thank you, Member Johnston and Member Soldner, for your participation in the selection of the members who are participating on the committees. I have a motion and a second this time. Any other comments or discussion? Member Barnett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to say thank you to you and to staff for bringing this forward, and wanted to publicly thank you for your comments at the beginning, at the very first redistricting meeting that happened here a few weeks ago. Appreciate the tone that you helped set for this process moving forward.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment? Member Solon.
I would like to voice my thanks also. I believe we've done the right thing by waiting until we did get the results of the census. I think we're going to find we have more information, and we'll have better maps. And so again, everyone that's been involved, all the members and the leaders, the 3 judges, I I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any comments at this time? Not, then I will take a voice vote on this matter. I think I'm going to request a roll call vote this time. Clerk, would you please call the vote? Roll.
Lori
Chairman
Walrab.
will vote.
Pardon me?
Chairman will vote.
Thank you. Lori Walrab.
Yes.
Josh Barnett.
Yes.
Hannah Beer.
Yes.
Lindsay Bloomfield. Sharon Chung.
Yes.
Leah Klein.
Yes.
Chuck Erickson.
Yes.
William John Friedrich.
Yes.
Elizabeth Johnston.
Yes.
Val Lehman.
Yes.
Randall Martin. Catherine Metzger. Jim Rogal.
Yes.
Susan Schaefer.
Yes.
James Soldner.
Yes.
Gerald Thompson.
Yes.
Shana Wachinsky.
Yes.
Benjamin Webb.
Yes.
John McIntyre.
Yes.
19.
20 yes votes, 19 yes votes, 0 no votes, and the motion is carried. Do we have any other business or communication this time? Member Barnett?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to let the full board know that the Legislative Subcommittee held our first meeting a couple weeks ago, and we'll be meeting again in November to continue to prepare for the 2022 legislative season. Part of that process is developing the county's legislative platform and program, and the county board as a whole will have an opportunity to provide provide information and feedback on that, and add to that platform. There'll be a form that we'll ask members to fill out if they have something to contribute or an idea they'd like the subcommittee to consider.
All right, thank you very much. Member Schaefer?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just wanted to remind everyone that the Behavioral Health Community Forum has started this last week. And there were 3 sessions last week, which can be found on the Behavioral Health YouTube channel. And there's still some more sessions coming up, so you can sign up for those. And they're usually over the lunch hour, so people can view them while they're having their lunch. Thank you.
Thank you. Please tune in and check out the forum because there are a lot of great speakers and good ideas, and our behavioral health throughout our community is very important to all of us. Anyone else that has anything to say? Member Solner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to remind members that the McLean County Liquor Commission will be meeting directly after this meeting. It's a BYOB, so hopefully you brought your own. Thank you.
Member Solner, you took the words right out of my mouth. And so there is a meeting in room 404 of a liquor commission after this meeting. Thank you for your attempt at humor there. Anything else that we have today? Thank you all for coming, and thanks for your cooperation and participation. This meeting's adjourned.